Hi there, I'm Jen Kitzmiller with the National Weather Service in Missoula, and I have your planning briefing recorded on Sunday, April 10th. We do have a high impact weather event coming in for Monday into Tuesday. Some of the key points: we are expecting potentially damaging winds across northwest Montana, generally from Missoula northward to the Canadian border. We've got a period of moderate to heavy snow expected from north central Idaho eastward through southwest Montana. And then beyond this weather system, it does look like we're going to remain active and cool with the potential for another snow event Thursday into Friday. So looking at the current satellite as of Sunday afternoon, generally all of the Pacific Northwest has been enveloped in a broad area of low pressure. We're expecting a lobe of energy to break off of that trough and cut off into a low pressure circulation that moves through central Idaho here in the Monday and the Tuesday time frame. And that's the feature that is going to be creating these high impact events that we have coming up. So jumping right into some of our concerns, the first is for damaging winds. Monday afternoon through Tuesday, if we were to narrow that down, I think the strongest winds are really probably going to be most likely Monday evening into Tuesday morning. And basically this is going to encompass from Missoula northward to the Canadian border. We'll be expecting pretty widespread northeast to east winds, 20 to 40 miles per hour, with local gusts up to 60 miles per hour or possibly higher. So with that, some of the impacts or concerns that we have is damage to trees and power lines, and potentially some choppy, dangerous conditions on area lakes. If we look at some of the details on where some of the strongest winds may occur, these are some of our high-resolution forecast models. The image on the left is kind of what the average solution from some of these high-resolution models is. And the image on the right is showing kind of a worst case. And so just to calibrate you for colors, anywhere you're seeing the darker greens, you're starting to get up close to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. And as you approach the reds into the pink and purples, you're expecting 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So the areas of particular concern, basically the 93 corridor, Highway 93 corridor from Missoula all the way up to the Canadian border. In particular, Whitefish to Eureka. The east side of Flathead Lake is a big area of concern. These kind of wind events in the past have caused quite a bit of damage to trees and power lines in that area. So this event does not look like an exception to that. We've also got the Rattlesnake area around Missoula into East Missoula, and then east of Missoula out towards Avon, Ovando, and down towards MacDonald Pass. And you'll see on the worst case scenario, a lot of those areas are showing up with potential gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So that's just some of the favored areas where we think we could see some of those stronger winds. They certainly could occur in other areas as well, but that's the most likely locations. So our next concern is for heavy snow, and this graphic is highlighting the areas where we have more confidence of snowfall. The blue areas are showing moderate to high confidence of at least 2 inches of snow, and the areas in white are showing where we have pretty high confidence, 60 to 90% chance of at least 6 inches of snow. So that heaviest snow does look like it's going to fall through the terrain of north central Idaho, including Lost Trail Pass, as well across southwest Montana, basically the I-90 corridor from Garrison Junction down to Home State Pass. MacDonald Pass, of course. Those are the areas where we're really starting to see signals for some pretty significant snowfall accumulations. Outside of that, even like the Bitterroot Valley from Hamilton south, it's not out of the question to see a couple inches of accumulating snow. So certainly somewhat abnormal as we're sitting in April here. So a couple things to consider with this. Basically anywhere within the blue we are expecting to see widespread winter driving conditions, and those areas in the white could be particularly challenging due to the combination of heavy snow. We could also see some stronger winds near the Continental Divide, so whiteout type conditions is not out of the question for areas such as MacDonald Pass and Homestake Pass. So in just the kind of late season of this, you know, there is potential to have some damage to power lines and sensitive vegetation. Looking at some of the probabilities, this is the 48-hour probability of snowfall greater than 2 inches. And this is for Monday into Tuesday. And so you'll see generally it's that Highway 12 corridor and south where we have the greatest probabilities of that occurring. If we step up in that same time to the probability of 6 inches or more of snow, that starts to get a little more localized, you know, from Whitebird Grade down towards Dixie, Elk City. Those areas have a decent probability of at least 6 inches. Lost Trail Pass, but really what's being highlighted is the southwest Montana, Georgetown Lake, Anaconda, Butte, the passes along the divide. I mean, we're looking at a 80% chance of at least 6 inches in Butte in this time frame, as well as I should also highlight some of the passes along the Lemhi County border as well. Then if we go up to the probability of 12 inches, again, that is really still kind of highlighting the Butte, the passes, MacDonald Pass, Homestake Pass. Butte, it's not out of the question. You've got about a 16% chance of seeing a foot of snow. So there's that potential to see some really heavy snowfall. And I should note that there is potential to see a period of very heavy snow Monday night into Tuesday morning with 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates possible. So just looking at some of the timing graphics, I've put up a few locations where we maybe have a few other things to discuss, and I'll start with Grangeville. You know, we still have some question marks on how impacts are going to sort out with this in the Grangeville, Camas Prairie area. It looks like initially it's going to be pretty warm when some of that heavier snow is falling during the day and early evening Monday, so it may not initially be an impact, but you'll see temperatures really start to drop off, and so we do worry a little bit about some ice forming on some of the roadways late Monday night into Tuesday morning. So that's an area we're keeping an eye on. Looking at Elk City, you can see some pretty intense snowfall rates Monday night into Tuesday morning. That would probably be the main period of impact and accumulation there. Switching over to Lost Trail Pass, you'll see some periods of some very heavy snowfall there. A foot of snow is definitely not out of the question for Lost Trail Pass. Here's Hamilton, another area where most of the heavier accumulations are showing up for Monday afternoon, so a lot of this probably won't stick. But again, as we get into Monday evening into Tuesday morning, if snowfall rates end up a little bit stronger than what we're expecting, and with those falling temperatures overnight, it is possible we see some more intense accumulations there from Hamilton south. So that's another area we'll be keeping an eye on, maybe some ice formation as well. Here's a look at Georgetown Lake. Pretty high chance of us seeing at least 8 inches of snow, if not more, out of this. Butte, you know, those 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates look possible late Monday evening into Tuesday morning. There's also potential to see some blowing and drifting snow from those northeast winds as they start to develop. And MacDonald Pass in particular, I wanted to point this one out because on top of those heavy snowfall rates, we're also feeling pretty confident that those areas are going to see some pretty strong winds. So there is potential to see some blizzard-like conditions late Monday night into Tuesday morning. This also applies for Avon to Helmville along Highway 141. Now I should also note this is abnormally cold. We're talking about 20 to 30 degrees below normal for this time of year. Temperatures like this are more what we would expect kind of mid to late winter. So we're pretty significant in what we're seeing with temperatures. And in fact, we may set some daily records. The graphic here on the left is showing our maximum temperatures on Tuesday, with many areas struggling to get out of the 30s and even out of the 20s along the divide. And then for Wednesday morning, low temperatures in the teens to single digits. So certainly if you have any sensitive vegetation, sensitive pets or animals, livestock, just something to keep in mind that this is going to be quite a bit colder than what we would normally expect this time of year. Also keep that in mind for any irrigation that's in place. So here's the weather impact overview matrix. Again, it's that Monday kind of later afternoon into Tuesday morning that we're most concerned with. Going forward, Wednesday may see a little bit of break in things, but again, we're tracking another potential system for that Thursday into Friday time frame that could bring us some more snow and impacts to the region. That's all I have. Please feel free to give us a call if you have any questions or need any other details, and we will be in touch. Thanks. Have a great day.